Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video, and today we are talking about Nergigante, the flagship monster for World. This past weekend, during Jump Festa, an expo in Japan, Monster Hunter World was playable again, and the build they had there was the same as that which people got to experience at PSX, in that it not only allowed you to fight Great Jagras, Barroth and Anjanath, but it also had an extra quest, giving people a chance to face off against the hyper-aggressive Elder Dragon and flagship, Nergigante. A few people did manage to take it down, but largely it was a pretty tough challenge. However, the reason I bring that up is because during the show, there were a few Monster Hunter World live streams where they took on Nergigante with a few different weapons, namely Lance, Gun Lance, and Insect Glaive. For those of you that want to see the hunts in their entirety, I've linked all three videos down below. They don't manage to complete the quest, but you do get some good gameplay against the monster. The people streaming have clearly played the game before and they knew what they were doing, but it's not designed to be an easy fight, plus the time limit was pretty short too. However, in this video, I want to cut together a few different segments to give you an idea as to how this monster fights, and talk about a few interesting observations based on the hunts that we got to see. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Be sure to comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Now, first up, just so that we're all on the same page, Nergigante is, as mentioned, the flagship monster for World. While not on the Western box art, it is on the box in Japan, and it's also the statue you get in the Collector's Edition. In short, it is an important monster. It's an Elder Dragon, which is a special class of monster typically reserved for rare or elusive monsters that have lived for a very long time, and they often bring destruction to entire ecosystems. Elder Dragons are unique in gameplay in that they typically can't be trapped by shock traps or pitfalls, meaning you can't capture them, and they can also be defeated in a couple of different ways. They can either be repelled, meaning if you deal enough damage but not enough to kill it, then they can flee, and the next time you fight them, they can retain that damage that you dealt to them, meaning that these monsters can actually be fought across multiple quests, but of course more conventionally you can also just hunt to kill them. It seems in Monster Hunter World that Elder Dragons are also indicated by a change in your Scoutfly colour, since the only time we've ever seen the Scoutflies go blue is around Nergigante and Zora Magdalos, both of whom we know to be Elder Dragons. In short, they're a big deal, and they also, more often than not, present a bigger challenge than some of the other monsters that you'll fight. In the case of Nergigante, it is a hyper-aggressive monster that dishes out unrelenting attacks, can cover great distances with powerful leaping attacks, and most notably has a rather interesting regenerative ability. In short, when you fight Nergigante, his spikes will break off, either from your damage, or because it's so aggressive that it can break its own spikes just by doing its attacks. When this happens, they grow back, at first in white, being the fresh spikes, but if left unchecked, they harden and go black, and this results in your weapons bouncing, which makes him a rather tough monster to deal with unless you have a means to mitigate that. This also means that the best way to deal with him is to be aggressive, since if you leave him and give him space, those spikes will make your life a little harder, so I guess in this instance, a good offense is a good defense. However, with that being said, one thing we did get to see from the livestream was that in one instance, a slinger was used to break some of the spikes. Now, it could just be that they were at an appropriate breaking threshold, but it could also be that the special slinger ammo could be a means to combat this specifically. If you take a monster like Kuluyaku, who defends himself with rocks, using slinger ammo on him is a legitimate strategy to force him to drop his rocks. So in this instance, it could be that the special slinger ammo dropped when you make Nergigante flinch, the one that typically appears as a glowing red icon on the floor, could actually be used for this purpose. Something else worth calling out is about trapping the monster. I mentioned earlier that Elder Dragons can't be trapped by shock traps and pitfall traps, and we can see this confirmed in the gameplay when both types of traps are placed down and Nergigante simply walks over them. However, what is interesting is that it seems it is still susceptible to the environmental traps, namely the shock frogs. So in the Wildspire Waste, in the Lavender Fields, there are those shock frogs, and kicking them emits a paralysing cloud. If Nergigante walks into this, you can temporarily shock it, giving you an opening to do some damage. I would therefore assume that it would also mean you can lead it to the area where the Grimwalkine are located, mount it, and then get them to net it for another type of trap too. So it seems these new gameplay elements give you a couple of additional options during combat, but still, your own traps won't be of any use. Speaking of mounting, we also got our first look of a hunter mounting Nergigante. Gotta say, it looks a little bit painful with all those spikes, not exactly something you would really want to sit on, but either way, we do see it mounted. We also got confirmation that you can indeed cut its tail off, so that is something else to focus on. Plus, you of course have the two giant horns on its head to focus on as well, assuming you're brave enough to stare him in the face. But that, my friends, is pretty much it for the time being. Just a few observations made from the most recent gameplay, but again, if you want to see the whole thing, then all three hunts are linked down below. I genuinely can't wait to fight this monster. For those of you that have been looking for a challenge, the director, Tokura, has said countless times that Nergigante is genuinely tough to fight, so I'm looking forward to the challenge, and also to crafting the gear and weapons too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and keep it locked because I will have more Monster Hunter World videos for you very soon. I am going to be taking a little bit of time off over Christmas to recharge before the new year, so videos will be a little bit more spaced out over the next, say, 10 to 14 days, but I still have some more Monster Hunter World videos planned, so there will still be things for you guys to watch. But until then, thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.
あ、やっちゃった。鈴木さんかな。もう回復やグレードが最後。ここ水場だからちょっと不利だな。これまずい、これまずい。